This conference will now be recorded.
Hi friends, can you all
Hello,
hear me?
Subbu. Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you.
hi. Yeah, hi.
Hi. Hi.
Subbu, good morning.
Hi, Subbu.
Yeah, hi. Can you able to see my screen?
This conference will now be
Yeah, we
recorded.
can.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Subbu.
Hi, Subbu.
In middleware tools. So I have started my journey with Microsoft Business Server. It's kind of a middleware tool. Then I have moved to IAB integration bus. So that is also another kind of integration tool. It's a IBM product. It's been 2 years, so I'm working on Mulesoft. This is just a brief about myself. There are so many people are there, so it's not possible to you guys introduce yourself. Okay, so we can start. Already it's late. Guys, these are my contact details, guys. So I am a Mulesoft certified developer on latest version Mule 4. We can say MCD level 1 certification. These are my contact details here. And one more thing, guys. So most of the people I don't know. So if you guys can ping your name and your contact details in chat window, so that I can later after the class I can able to contact you. If anyone have any questions, so you can reach out me at any time. So this is a today's agenda, guys. What is Mule SB? How do we use a Mule in real time? And what all are the core Mule components? And these these are the main components in MuleSoft. So just I will not just dig into in detail about those components. Just I will cover high level. So what is Mule USB? Either Mule USB or MuleSoft both are same, guys, and just terminology only. USB is nothing but enterprise service bus. Here, uh, the terminology will be different. That's it only. Some people will call it MuleSoft. Some people will call it Mule USB. MuleSoft is the most powerful and it's an open source framework which will allow us to connect multiple applications together regardless of the different kind of technologies. Those applications can make use of what I am trying to say, like suppose just let's assume there are three applications. One application is developed by Java, another application developed by the C#.NET, and another application is developed by some other scripting language like Python, or some other scripting language. Okay, so it doesn't bother about which kind of technology use it to develop those applications, guys. So we can able to we can able to connect together by using the MuleSoft. This is the MuleSoft is the number one integration tool right now in the market. About features of the Mulesoft, I have mentioned in the below slide clearly, so we can go there one by one. I will cover you guys. I will cover all the things. Here clearly I have just mentioned the definition of the MuleSoft. In we can define in two ways, guys. So those ways also I can just mention here. We can go through one by one. MuleSoft is a popular integration framework which facilitates developers in connecting various applications together, regardless of the different kind of technologies. Yeah, as I said, just we just taken three applications which is developed by different technologies that various applications make use of. Here I have just taken few examples, guys, here, including HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol, JMS, Java Message Service, web services. When it comes to the web services, we have two kinds of APIs. One is REST API, another one is SOAP API. So now I'm not going to going into in detail of I'm not going in going into in detail of APIs concept, guys. When we'll enter into API concept, that time we are going to see in detail about REST API and SOAP API. Next, databases. Already you guys might be aware of databases, like we have so many kind of databases are available in the market, like MySQL DB, Oracle DB, Microsoft SQL, AS400, like this. We have DB2. We have so many kind of databases are available, guys. So we can able to integrate these all the systems are we can say systems or applications or API by using this MuleSoft, guys. And one more thing, MuleSoft is very useful in easy integration of existing systems. And here in the below, you guys can see I have mentioned a few of the important features of the MuleSoft. When it comes to MuleSoft, we have two versions, guys. We can say again in each version we have individual versions are there, like in 3.x, Mule 3.x and Mule 4.x. In There are a lot of changes when we'll compare from 3.x to 4.x. So here just I'm going to our training is going to cover on Mule 4 only, guys. At the end of our training, so I will, if anyone interesting to learn Mule 3.x, so I will help you on that also, guys. So here, as I said, right, it's a open source framework. MuleSoft is open source framework. And in another way also we can define MuleSoft. MuleSB is lightweight open source framework, but highly scalable, reliable, and secure. What is meant by here? You may get a question about scalable. Scalable is nothing but let's say there are three existing applications are there. Suppose in future, if you want to add any additional new application to the existing system, so the process, whatever the process will be there to add that, once we'll add it, right, that existing one is sorry that new system is nothing but a scalable, guys, in the process of adding new things, new application. Okay, are
But
you
SubbaRao, is Mule still open source framework? But we heard like Mule as acquired by Salesforce. I think Salesforce won't give anything free, right?
Yeah, actually here there are two what we can say editions, guys, community edition and enterprise edition. So still community edition is the open source only. For
Okay.
development purpose we can use it when we are ready to move into a prod. Okay, so that time if you want to use it, if you want to use MuleSoft cloud hub, so for that we need to pay, guys.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
Subba, is it open source in terms of which studio, the Mule Studio that
Yes.
we call the Anypoint Studio? Is it always
Yeah.
free, or we have to pay for that even if we go with the enterprise version?
It's always free, guys. So actually, it's a 30 days trial version, both Endpoint Studio and Endpoint Platform. So
Mhm.
after 1 month, you can able to use it. You can able to use the Endpoint Studio also. So suppose in case you will after 1 month, if you face any issues, right, that time you need to do one thing, like you have to just unzip the zip file which you have downloaded earlier. So again, you can use it. That is not a big deal.
Okay.
Even in real-time projects also, I have seen in my previous organization, I have seen a couple of projects, they used to use I mean, what we can say, community edition only
Okay.
for development
And,
purpose.
and about the runtime, do we have for developing any application, or as I say, as a developer, one, is the runtime still free?
Yes, still runtime also. I mean, we no need to bother about runtime separately, guys. When we'll try to download Endpoint Studio, that time along with Endpoint Studio, runtime also will. Yeah, what I'm trying to say, it's a combination of both Endpoint Studio and runtime. It will come automatically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank.
Okay, so just I have explained about scalable, guys. And next, reliable. What is meant by reliable? Reliable is nothing but it's a kind of trusting, guys. Suppose there are a couple of domains like banking domains, financial domains, insurance domains. Uh, what are all the applications using in those domains, right? Those kind of applications, they can't bear with single loss of single loss of information, guys. So uh, in that scenario, I mean, what I'm trying to say, so the reliable is the really matter in those kind of uh, domains.
The
Okay, yeah, that is
message
reliable.
delivery.
Yes. In terms of that is reliable here, when it comes to the Mulesoft, it's a but what I'm trying to say, like, it's a very reliable system, we can say. And here, yeah, as per my knowledge, so as I said, right, I have some plus years of IT experience in middleware. This is my third integration tool. With my experience, compared to other integration tools, this is to learn, it's very easy. And one more thing, like, here we have so many features are there, guys. If you'll go and if you'll see other middleware tools, we don't find this many features. And the main thing is it's open source. That is that is the main thing. Always clients will see, I mean, how they are planning to, how they are trying to just reduce the cost. That is one thing. And about the I mean, create of this technology, right? So we have few slides are there, so that time I will cover. Okay, and next we'll see the
Yeah. So,
secure, guys.
hello.
Yeah, hello. Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt you. I just have a question.
yeah, tell
About
me.
you just told me about the toolkit is and the server is inbuilt, right?
Yes.
But what if I want to deploy any source code into the AWS or Azure cloud? So do we have any additional server software for that cloud like AWS and Azure?
Yes, we have. Yeah, actually, we have like Cloud Hub and on-premise, guys. Suppose client, he's ready to bear with. I mean, he's ready to take care about his. I mean, what we can say is the data. So he will maintain his. His own server, we can say. So that is nothing but on-premises. So we have the what we can say, features to so I mean, either will go with AWS or any other alternatives.
Okay,
So
but
Subbu,
that
that.
is nothing but
But
on-premise, right?
Yes,
yeah.
guys, can you give me 1 minute? I'm getting call from US. 1 minute. Hi guys, sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, next secure guys. Anyone have any questions before we'll move further? We will have just I will give you time to ask questions, guys. Let me proceed further. In terms of secure, guys, here we have so many options are there when we'll compare to other technology tools or technologies. So here we have so many uh, security features are there. If you'll go and if you'll see an endpoint, Mulesoft endpoint platform here, API manager inside the API manager, we have policies are there. Suppose if I want to restrict other clients except the client which I wanted to allow him to use my API. So in that scenario, I will go with the client ID enforcement policy. Suppose if I want to just one more policy is there's basic authentication when they are trying to hit our URL, right? So API URL, that time they should pass the headers like username password. Like this, we have so many like rate limiting policies there, SLA based SLA based rate limiting policies there, LDAP is there, Auth 2.0 authentication is there. We have so many security policies are there, guys. We'll in regular sessions, we'll see one by one. So this is all about scalable, reliable, and secure. We can build a Mule applications. Apps is here. Apps is nothing but applications to connect systems, services, APIs, and devices using a Mulesoft API-led connectivity instead of point-to-point integrations. These are the architectures, guys. In before 1980s, industry is following the point-to-point architecture, integration architecture. So after 1998, 1980s, after 1980s, okay, in the start of the 20th century, uh, end-to-end integration came. That is nothing but ESB, Enterprise Service Bus. About those architectures, we'll cover in detail in later classes. And here we should talk about Mulesoft's API-led connectivity architecture. This is very modernized architecture, guys. So about this, I'm going to just what we can say. I will give you the high level about API-led connectivity architecture. Next, here MuleSoft is providing Eclipse-based IDE. Here, Endpoint Studio, MuleSoft Endpoint Studio is nothing but a IDE to develop any applications, or we can say here in middleware terminology, flows, guys. We should have one IDE. IDE is nothing but an integrated development environment. If you go and if you see in Java, if you go and if you see any technology, okay, we should have one IDE to just develop the application. Here also we have Endpoint Studio is the IDE here, and it's open source and free, as we have discussed, right? So next, build integrations graphically or in XML. This point we are going to see, guys. I will show you graphically in the sense we can able to see the suppose once we'll create one flow by visually we can see that integration. And in XML is nothing but, guys, if you suppose if you are expert in writing XML code without using built-in components which is provided by the Mulesoft, we can able to write the XML code to generate the components also. Components in the sense the flows. Next, access query and transform data through the data view language.
Yeah, Subha, this is Riaz.
Yeah, hi Riyaj.
Yeah. I have one question here.
Yeah.
Is this integrated? Is this JSON, Python, and PHP, Node.js will be compatible apart from XML, or only XML is
No, no.
feasible?
He's comparable. He's a comparable everything. The Python grouping language and its Scala language and Go language, everything is compatible.
Yes, so actually, yeah, this is one of the what we can say one of the most powerful feature here. We can able to compatible with any technology, we can say.
Yeah, I have one more question, Subha. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, okay,
We
fine.
have the same kind of, yeah. There are some other integration tools within the cloud native platform. Say, for example, in the Google as well as in the Azure and AWS as well. In case this is a open source, that on top of it, an enterprise version should be chargeable. To
Yes,
get
correct.
into the market, we have to deploy this and make use of the integration. But however, we have so many other data warehouses within the native cloud environment. What would be the justification of yours to opt this exclusively by parking all existing native applications of that respective cloud?
Yeah, so here we have to discuss about one thing, guys. As he asked, right? So this is exclusively to just integrate the either applications or systems, we can say. So here we don't have any what we can say a specific kind of warehouse here, but here we have a few things, guys. Suppose Mulesoft is providing by default what we can say. Endpoint MQ here is there, so here also we can able to use a queue is the kind of warehouse also, we can say. Okay, so here also we'll store the message in the queue, then based on the time period we are going to subscribe the message. So and another what we can say, suppose if you want to uh, interact other kind of queuing mechanism also, we can able to do it. Okay, this is exclusively in terms of the integration only, guys. And one more thing, when we'll compare with, as he asked the question, native warehouses with few of the Azure. Okay, Azure has some built-in what we can say like warehouses. So actually, in if you'll just if you'll go and if you'll see any in real-time projects also, in most of the projects, okay, for for warehouse, guys, they will maintain separate warehouse boxes like DV kind of things, okay. But yeah, rarely will go with native warehouses tools, I can say. And one more thing, compared to other integration tools, here this Mulesoft is built on top of Java, right? So it's a in terms of the performance also, it will be very good compared to other middleware tools.
And I think Subba, it's
Yeah.
more as an integration tool, not the
Yes.
ETL tool. So
Yes.
ETL
Yes.
tool,
Correct.
they work on the large data set which is historical, whereas the integration tool they run, they they actually deal with the real time small chunk of data or messages.
Here also we can able to sorry for that, but here also we can able to extra for ETL purpose, ETL scenarios, we have batch processing concept is there in MuleSoft, so we can able to handle large kind of huge kind of data also.
Yeah, that's great here,
Yeah.
since it gives that capability. But I
Yes.
think the data warehousing that the ETL tool they are
Yes.
made to
Correct.
deal with the
Yeah.
such kind of scenario in an efficient way rather than
Yes. Yes.
having the
Correct.
integration tool application integration in
Yes, is
that.
correct. You are right. If you go and if you say how to big data, also we have like uh, integrations as well as we have warehouses. So in that is ETL. Okay, extract load and ETL is extract, transform, and load. So here this is exclusively to what we can say for integrating the applications and the systems, guys. Here APIs.
So Subba, what is a prerequisite to learn MuleSoft?
Yeah, so I wanted to just discuss about that. Most of the people they will have the question like, suppose most of the people they will ask the first question like, what are the prerequisites to learn MuleSoft? Here, guys, as I said, there are two versions, Mule 3.x and Mule 4.x. Suppose nowadays, guys, it's been 6 months. 60 to 70% clients are there they're directly going to start with the Mule 4.x, because when we'll compare with Mule 3.x and 4.x, in Mule 4.x we have so many what we can say powerful features they introduced, guys. So they just introduced the new components also to increase the performance. So that time so how the clients will think, like suppose for both versions, either if they will go with the 3.x or 4.x, it doesn't matter, they should pay the same price. Okay, instead of using the thing which has a good features, so people they want to go with the 3.x, right? So if you want to work with the 3.x, you need just you should know, not compulsory, guys. If you know Java, it will be advantage. Otherwise, no need to worry about learning. No need to worry regarding the learning of Mulesoft, guys. Now I am also
Yes, Shiva, can you just give just one or two example, like what extra features this Mule 4 is having, or against Mule 3, what means advantage we'll get in Mule 4?
yeah,
Just one or two.
yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, guys. In terms of message structure, the message structure is completely I cannot say completely changed, guys. Almost 60 to 7% message structure of the Mule is changed, guys. When we'll compare with the Mule 3, in Mule 3, if you go and if you see, there are message structure like message in the event. Okay, we can say message. I will show you that diagram, guys. I will explain it clearly. Just give me 1 minute.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Yeah, just 1 minute. I have documentation is there, guys, for entire training.
Okay,
Comparing a Mule message structure
great.
3.x to 4.x, here you guys can see the left side diagram is related to Mule 3.x, and right side diagram is related to Mule 4.x. Okay, here you guys can see in the message under the message in the left side, inbound properties, outbound properties are there. I'm not going to in detail about these things, guys. So these are the inbound properties, outbound properties are removed, and they introduce
Subbu,
one.
Subbu,
Yeah,
the real expression is not there for 4%.
I'm not getting you. Sorry for that.
You were telling only three there is real expression there, no? In
Mail
inbound properties,
mail
mill
expression.
expression,
Yeah,
mill expression 4.x is not there.
yeah. I will just come to that point.
Okay.
Okay, here these inbound properties are set by the message source itself only. Suppose if you are trying to get the source message from either from MySQL DB, or just assume, guys, from Salesforce. Okay, so when we'll get the message, along with the message, when the message will reach to MuleSoft, by default it has some header properties, guys. So those are nothing but inbound properties. Okay, here outbound properties added by the message processors. Here in MuleSoft, we'll call components, a few of the components which are going to use in process section. We can call message processors. We can call it components also. In other technology like IAB, we can call it nodes. In BizDoc, we can call it some other terminology like this. Okay. So these outbound properties added by the Mule message processors. So they just simplified they just very much simplified Mule 4 message structure when we'll compare with Mule 3. Here in the right side, if you'll see uh, under the Mule event, guys, here see you guys can see Mule message. Within that attributes, instead of inbound and outbound properties, they remove this inbound outbound properties and just they introduce attributes. If you'll just once you will start to learn about the MuleSoft, right? So that time you will get to know the real differences, the real, what we can say, the power of the Mule 4. Okay, and one more thing, and one more
Yes.
thing.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you again.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Once I have developed the project in version 3.x,
Yeah.
okay, shall I import that same project into 4 point version? Is that compatibility released? I
Uh,
mean, Can we
No,
do that?
no, guys. We can import it, but here, as I said, there are a lot of changes are there when we'll compare with Mule 3.x. And if you'll import Mule 3.x project in Mule 4, guys, that time, so because of some mandatory properties missing, guys, so that's why that project we cannot open it. Even if you just import it, also, what will happen? So when it comes we will compare with when we will compare the components mil 3.x components and 4.x components, so a lot of changes are there, so because of those reasons we cannot able to open the components.
So you
And
mean to say
here,
that again we need to develop new source code into 4.x?
yeah, for migration, yes, so for migration there are there are a couple of tools, so they are available, guys. So even actually last week Sunday I have attended a meetup in Hyderabad. Here they also from Vispax, okay, they are also going to uh, just introduce one migration tool from Mule 3.x to 4.x.
So
Okay.
we need to use some external third-party tool to
Yeah.
use to migrate
Yeah.
from 3.x to 4.x all projects source
Yeah.
code.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, guys. So actually, Mule itself.
And that third-party tool is open source or that is also paid in something like that?
Yeah. Just I will come to that point. Actually, Mule itself they are providing one tool. I'm not aware of that tool because still, this is still I didn't get chance to uh, get the chance to just work on the migration part because now all the new projects start with development with the Mule 4 only, right? So I didn't get the chance. Okay, just they gave the demo about that migration part. Okay, from Mule 3.x to 4.x. Right now the current situation in the market, right? So what the clients uh, what the client people will just think about. Suppose the one application is one application is developed in other
Hi
tools,
friends.
integration tools like BizDoc server and IIB.
Can you hear me?
So from
Yeah, we
IIB
can
to
hear you.
Mulesoft, they are going to migrate it. Okay, right now in the current market, so this migration is not yet started, guys. Rarely, we can say, people doesn't have the exposure on migration part.
So currently means you can say how much percentage of projects majorly work on 3.x or 4.x means.
70%. Yeah, it's been 6 months, guys. 70% of projects are running on Mule 4.x. I can
Okay,
see.
okay,
Okay.
okay, got it.
I will show you the few of the features. Okay, then you'll get to know. In demo, it's not possible. I am hoping you
Yeah,
guys
yeah, yeah,
understood. Okay,
yeah,
it's
yeah, of
not
course,
possible.
yeah.
We have complete documentation is there. So in regular sessions, we are going to cover in and out. Okay, and one more thing, guys, in Mule 3.x message structure, attachments are there, so that attachments are removed, and here in Mule 4 they introduced in attributes. So through headers we can able to attach any, if you want to attach any file, you can attach that. And if you want to just know about these terminologies, variables, how variables look like here. So this is the one example understanding of Mule message and variables. And one more thing, when we'll compare with here, guys, clearly you guys can see the message structure of Mule 4 is completely changed now. Mule 4, and one more difference, major difference in message, guys, variable concept. In Mule 3, we have three kind of variables are there, like flow variables, session variables, record variables. When we'll come to Mule 4, we have only one variable concept is there. So with that single variable, we can able to achieve whatever you want to achieve with the three kind of variables in 3.x.
More simplified.
Yes, correct. And one more major change I can say, guys, error handling and data view. We should just talk about data view and error handling. completely error handling the way how we are going to handle the errors in Mule 3.x and Mule 4.x completely different, guys. In Mule 4 they introduced the error handler components. Within that we can able they introduced two more scopes like on error continue, on error propagate. They completely changed. So the way of handling the things is very much easy in Mule 4.x.
Okay.
And one more thing, data view, guys. In 3.x, what will happen? In 3.x, if you want to just transform from, suppose if you want to transform from XML to JSON, first you know what you should do. Not exactly, guys. Just I'm giving the brief. Okay. You need to first you need to before you are going to transform directly from one format to another format. You should do first. You should have just convert from the source format to a Java object. Then from Java object to a respected expected format, you have to do the transformation. For that, if you go and if you see in Mule 3.x, you will have more than 20 components related to data view. When it comes to Mule 4, you will have only one single component, guys. With that single component, you can able to achieve whatever the what we can say business logic in terms
But
of
again,
mapping.
this is again converting to Java. Then the source.
No, 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 no. Here, it's automatically what we can say. They provided the built-in support, so no need to
Okay.
convert into. Yeah, they
Okay.
deprecated
Then
all 20 components and just they introduced a single component.
great. Great.
That is the power of data view. And one more thing, guys, data view is uh, inside data view, right? So that is a we can say tool or language which is just built in. Written in a Scala language.
Come again. Which way? Which one?
Data view written in Scala language.
Okay. Okay. Data view.
That yeah, no need to worry about that. Scala. Okay, so here it's that is data view is very when it come when we'll just see the transformation part in other integration tools, right? So here it's a very powerful tool, I can say. Very easy also in terms of transform the message from one format to another format. If you want to just uh, do the mapping also very easy. In IAB, what will happen is if you want to just send just change from source format to target format, you need to do just do the just you need to make it the logical structure. Then you need to just uh, you need to take care about the expected data format. But here we no need to worry about those all the things, guys. Simply just you will just import the input data, that is nothing but a source data, and then by just enabling the preview option, we can able to just write the data view script. Okay. There are, if I want to talk about comparisons, guys, I can talk next 1 hour. Okay. So
You can say also what means like we have Dell Boomi and other Informatica Cloud, the other modular tools. Like what extra means Mule can provide means against those competitor tools. Means if you can give 2 3
yeah,
points
they
on that.
yeah, actually they introduced the cloud. The main thing is cloud, and
Mhm.
this is the open source. See, always client will think how I can able to reduce the cost.
Correct.
That is the one thing. And one more thing. So about the credibility of the technology, I have documentation is there. When you will go with the doc.
SOAP message to backend, the front end will send a SOAP request and the backend expressed in the form of COBOL, okay, the basic mainframe format. So how does it will handle in the Mulesoft? Can you please repeat the experiment just for 30 seconds?
Yeah, when we'll get the, when we'll use, suppose if you are going to get the data from data by using the SOAP API from mainframe. So once we'll get the data, so by using the transform message component, yeah, as we have discussed, right? So it has a good feature when it comes to the compatibility. So we can able to do it easily.
Okay, so it is the, you mean the mapping is very easy, you're saying here in the Mulesoft?
Yes, mapping also very easy, and writing the scripts. So this is nothing but this is the one of the major integration pattern in industry, IT industry. And nowadays, the most of the migration projects from one technology to another technology. Okay, that is the major work now it's going on from BizDoc server to Mulesoft, from IAB to Mulesoft. So, this is the migration nothing but from old version to new version, guys. For this, we'll have tools is there. So by using those tools, so in the source section, you need to just uh, import the unused data. That is nothing but it's a uh, we can say unused is nothing but guys. And currently the clients are not using that data. If they wanted to make it use, so they should migrate from that version to new version, or from one technology to another technology. Like from BizDoc to MuleSoft, or IAB from I'm from IAB to MuleSoft. This is a major one of the scenario. All the middleware tools will come into the picture, not only MuleSoft. Next,
But
broadcast, guys.
not only, SubbaRao, but here we are not only that tool which you are mentioning, like which will help from old version to new version. That is of means MuleSoft, some MuleSoft tool, or it's some third party, some outside tool.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
that's what I said. MuleSoft also they released one tool for migration, because that
Okay.
yeah, I didn't remember that tool name, because I didn't get chance to get the chance to just work on that. So I'm not aware of that tool. But in the meetup, so when I attended, right, so they just gave the demo on this part. Actually, Visvox also they're developing one tool.
Okay,
Uh,
so
that is
that
third
will
party.
help. So that will help not only help from Mule 3 to 4. It will also help like other tools like IIB, what you were mentioning, web methods to Mule, and other means tool which are
No,
means.
actually for especially for migration from Mule old version to new version, they are going to they just gave the demo regarding that tool.
Okay, okay. But what about
Uh,
other like other tools, means other technology like web methods and what outdated technology, whatever, to Mule if project is moving? So then the same tool will helpful or what?
uh, that I'm not aware of
I
migration.
Okay,
think guys, we should focus on the introductory part of it, and later we can throw a
Yeah,
question to him.
okay,
yeah,
fine.
that's what I ask. You guys give.
Yeah,
Okay, we can discuss your questions in end of the
yeah. Let's not be
demo.
in a comparison mode.
Yeah, so that's what, guys, I'm requesting you guys, if you have questions, keep it aside, and just when I'll give the chance, right, so that time you guys can ask me. Okay, regarding this integration pattern, guys, these five are the uh, uh, most use cases in integration in integration middleware, guys. One is the migration from old version to a new version, or from one technology to outdated technology to uh, latest technology. Okay. Next, broadcast. Broadcast is nothing but one to many. Uh, Here I have just given one example like this, guys. I'm going to get one. I'm going to get the HTTP request along with the payload, input request with the payload. Then one that is the source for me. So once that request, that input payload will come to will reach to MuleSoft. From here, based on the logic, guys, business logic. So I have to take care about that in between the source and destination. Then here, guys, one to many. Here you guys can see the right side. There are three target systems are there: MySQL database, SFDC, Salesforce, AS400 DB. So from MuleSoft, we need to take care about this second part, guys. We need to just publish the message to these all endpoints. We can say endpoints are target system. The terminal, just terminals will be different, guys. That's it only. So this is the broadcast one to many. Okay, so for these two, just I have documented for these two scenarios only, and just I will try to explain about the remaining things. Bidirectional, guys. Next, the third one is bidirectional. Bidirectional is nothing but from your from SAP to Salesforce, in vice versa from Salesforce to data synchronization, guys. Sync is there here, synchronization. For in this case, so we will just go with this scenario, bidirectional scenario, from A to B, B to A in the reverse, vice versa. Next, correlation, guys. This is the intersection part here. The correlation data integration pattern is a design that identifies the intersection of two data sets and does a bidirectional synchronization of that scope data set only if that item occur in both system naturally. Suppose data is available in both system, in system A and system B, the I mean common data, guys, in both systems. So for that, here we'll go with this scenario, correlation. Next, aggregation. This aggregation is exactly opposite to broadcast, guys. Sometimes in real time worlds, sometimes we need to I mean we should just get the data from multiple systems, like here, guys. This is exactly opposite to broadcast. Okay, so sometimes we should just get the data from different systems. Once we'll get the data from different systems into middleware, any middleware tool. Here I have just taken Mulesoft, guys. Here we need to just take care about the business logic, and we need to just aggregate data, all the data which we are going to get from source systems, and just we need to send to one single target system. So this is all about aggregation. Next, guys, the third one is what are all the core Mule components. Core Mule components is nothing but these are the main components, guys. If anyone should know about the functionality and when we'll go with those particular components, so we are ready. I mean, we are ready to work on the Mule, guys. We'll be able to work on Mule. Just I have documented about main components of Mulesoft here. Here, guys, you can see core components here. For to handle the large ETL operations or ETL scenarios, and suppose if you get a huge kind of data for that, to handle that in batch phases, so we have batch processing is concept is there, guys. We'll discuss about in detail about this concept when we'll enter into that section. Next, here major things here you guys can see the error handling in the uh, below. You guys can see error handler is there, error handling under the error handling section. So they completely change the way of handling the errors in Mule 4, guys. When we'll compare with 3, here they introduce on error continue, on error propagate. About these things we'll discuss in our regular sessions. Next, flow controls, guys. How, suppose based on the input data, if you want to control the flow, so you can control the flow by using these 4 components: choice router, first successful round robin, and scatter gather. Next, here scopes are there, guys. Scope is nothing but one, what we can say, one separate block of the code. Async cache is a okay, cache is the scope here. Async cache, there are some here variable component. By using the single set variable component, we can able to achieve all kind of requirements which are available in, suppose as I said, right, in 3.x we have 3 kind of variables. So instead of using 3 different kind of variables, we can able by using this single set variable component, we can able to achieve. Point-to-point integration, about the integrations, guys. Point-to-point integration will look like this. Okay, from one-to-one communication. This kind of structure we could able to see in all organizations. In the communication organization, we can say. With this point-to-point integration, we have so many disadvantages. The disadvantages are there, guys. Here I am not going in detail about those things. Just here you guys can see drawbacks with a P2P. P2P is nothing but point to point. This question is important for the interview purpose, guys. When we'll go for interview in the second round or third round, manager round, they may ask you about the these structures. Okay, hard to change the systems, maintainability, high operation risk, time to market. It will take time, too much time to if suppose any product come to the market, it will take too much time. To overcome this point-to-point architecture, one new concept is new concept came into the picture, guys. That is nothing but ESB concept, Enterprise Service Bus. Okay, here the scalability, guys. With this point-to-point, the main drawback is the scalability, guys. If you want to just add any new system, it's a very difficult with this point-to-point. When it comes to this ESB, right, Enterprise Service Backbone, it's very easy compared to that. Okay, here also we'll do all kind of things like routing, transformation. Here you guys can see by using this bus here we can able to just communicate to this all we can say systems, APIs, protocols, web or portal REST API, file FTP, SFTP, FTP is in file transfer protocols, Oracle systems, DB systems, SAP, S400 systems. Through this bus we can able to communicate these all systems here with this here enterprise service. So the time will be say time is going to be saved with this enterprise service bus, and also the scalability option also it has it compared with point to point integration, sorry, point to point architecture. So in ESB, so the scalability is very good, guys. So next, to overcome that, okay, Mulesoft introduced API-led connectivity architecture. Before that, here also just I have mentioned about the ESB. One more architecture diagram here. I have just documented here. So it's look like this, guys. So routing, transaction management, transformation, message broker. When we'll suppose if you want to talk to any queuing queue, so that time this message broker will be useful, guys. In terms of security also, compared to point, ESB has good options. Okay, even though Mule ESB, right, here we have ESB architecture is there, but no, Mulesoft here in the Mulesoft is introduced API-led connectivity architecture, guys. This is a very architecture. So with this Mule SB, we have only one small drawback is there, guys. When we will compare with uh, the modernized API-led connectivity architecture. So any product, if any product wanted to come to the market, it will take more time when we'll compare with API-led connectivity architecture. And one more thing, the reusability of the existing applications or APIs, whatever it may be. So here we have more options are there to reuse the built-in, already developed the component, or we can say applications or flows. I'm not going to discuss about this all the documentations. Will go directly with this API-led connectivity. In API-led connectivity, we have three kind of we can say layers or APIs, guys. System API, process API, experience API. So regarding these three layers, we are going to discuss about whole one class. This is important for interview and to understand the concept also. Here you guys can see system APIs. Mainly this system API is involving in backend, we can say like databases. Here you can see SaaS application services, software applications like SFDC, mainframe, FTP files, so databases, web services, legacy systems. So this is a very important layer here in API-led connectivity architecture. Next, process API. If you want to just implement any specific kind of business logic in terms of transformation, routing, and aggregating, guys, orchestration. If you want to do that, you can implement here. Otherwise, this is the process API here. Next, experience API. This is the API from where all from here this through this experience API we are going to interact multiple channels. Like here you can see the mobile applications. Here these are the clients we can say. Here mainly in the experience API will mainly in general scenario we are going to see the transformation part. Suppose our these APIs these layers is process data and just once process will be complete in system API process API, then that process data will come to the experience API. From experience API, so whatever the process data is, suppose let's assume okay, it's just processed in the process and just given to this experience API in JSON format. But one client he may expect data in XML format. Another client he may expect in CSV format. Another client he may expect in the same format JSON. So based on the client requirement here, we are going to take care about that transformation part in the experience API. So here main purpose of API-led connectivity. Purpose of API-led connectivity is to enable the integration flows to be reused by many parties and to be reused inside the integration platform, which is the reusability of the already available logic. Already available logic here nothing but in flows guys as a flows. The developers can evolve their logic in faster and safer ways, leading to a short time to market. APIs are created in layers, and the best plus point as compared to E2E. E2E is nothing but enterprise service bus, that is end-to-end approach, is that more components flows can be reused, which makes easier to implement new systems and services with this API-led connectivity architecture. About the advantages I have mentioned, so we don't have time, guys. We are started with the time. So this is all about just a brief about Mulesoft, overall Mulesoft, and Mulesoft technology creatability, guys. Just give me 1 minute. About the when we'll come to when we'll see the credibility of Mulesoft technology, or we can say credibility of the Mulesoft tool. So these are the main things, guys. This is the data I have just collected. This is the 12th. Actually, this is the 12th year. 12th anniversary of Mulesoft. Okay, this tool introduced in 12 years back, and this year Mulesoft ranked sixth. Okay, ranked sixth for large companies, and it is the fifth time that the company has been named a top employer on the list. This is one of the credibility of this integration tool. There are guys 17,000 companies. The Mulesoft has 17,000 customers, topmost companies. Recently one of my client, okay, so I'm working for one client, US client. So recently they also like I didn't document that, so they also using the Mulesoft is becoming a number one leader technology in the integration platform 2 months back. Mulesoft unveils a government cloud, and now we need to just talk about this FedRAMP, guys. This is the certificates given by the government. What we can, they're uh, trying to give the nation to use Mulesoft Cloud Hub.
So, Subba, what are the tools that are available for monitoring, administration, and maybe for deployment, or is it available? Can we do the CI/CD
Yes, we can.
pipeline with this?
Yes, we can. Guys, there are a couple of ways to deploy the applications. From Endpoint Studio, we can able to just what we can say, deploy the application directly. Also there are a couple of ways. If you want to go with the CI/CD approach, we can go with either Jenkins or Microsoft Azure DevOps, that is VSTS, guys. I am following in my current project. I am following VSTS. Few people are uh, following, I mean, Jenkins.
So what about the monitoring and administration part of this?
In suppose if I don't have experience on premises, how they are monitoring that, but I have the experience on Cloud Hub. No, by end of this month, so I will get the knowledge on-prem also. But when we will come to here for monitoring purpose, here we have in the endpoint itself, we have the tools are there in the runtime server and runtime manager. We can able to manage the monitoring tools.
So like the resubmitting the messages for any data validation error that occurred. So can we resubmit the messages and they will be get into the
When we will
process
come
like we
to
do
here
in
for monitoring purpose, here
other
we have in the
integration
endpoint
tools.
itself, we have the tools are there in the runtime server
For
and
monitoring
runtime
purpose,
manager. We
actually,
can able to manage the
regarding the
monitoring
resubmitting, I
tools.
don't think so.
So like the
I don't
resubmitting
have
the
complete knowledge
messages
on that
for
That
any
monitoring tools
data
here.
validation error that
As I
occurred.
said, right, it's been
So
two
can we
years I'm
resubmit
working
the
on that
messages and
Mule for. Okay, here in my current project, we are for monitoring. We are not using anything, but for custom logging, so we are using elk logging, and we are using the audit logging. So whenever any error will occur, right, what will happen? So based on our implementation is taking advantage of the open banking to drive in connected experiences for its more than 38 million customers worldwide. So not only this HSBS guys, we have other I mean top sports companies, like one of the top sports company, we can say Decathlon also, they have started to use Mulesoft.
So,
And
Subbu,
yeah,
hello.
hello, yeah,
So,
connected personalized customer experience. And one important point is there, guys. Here, this is important thing. So most of the people have the question, right? Mulesoft, provider of the leading platform for building applications networks, today announced new tools, pre-packaged connectors, and learning modules to empower anyone to compose connected customer experiences without writing a single line of code. They can able to use these built-in components. This is the power of the. And one more thing, guys. So there are whatever the, I mean, Mulesoft guys are investing a lot of money, a lot of the investment on the innovation, guys. They keep on every quarter. They are keep on coming with new features. No other technology is doing such kind of stuff. That's why it has I mean, good demand. Okay, this is just a brief about your MuleSoft, guys. If anyone have any questions, we can discuss. Otherwise, just I wanted to show just do one POC so that you people get to know how you when we'll compare with other tools, how he's doing the development work with MuleSoft. It will take hardly just 10-15 minutes. Can I go ahead? Before that, if anyone have any question, just let me know.
yeah.
Yeah, proceed. You can proceed.
Yeah. Even BMW also, guys, they're using MuleSoft. BMW and one more company here, Decathlon, showcases bricks and mortars innovation. Athletic footwear company also there. These are the topmost companies. But this is theoretically whatever we have discussed so far. Just I wanted to present in one POC, guys. For that, what I'm trying to do exactly, just before I'm going to do that, I will show you in the diagram so that you people will get clearly understand what we are going to do. So guys, here, so there is a source guys, just one POS I'm going to do it here. The source data is I'm going to get from file system, local file system, and target is DB database. To make you understand, just I'm going with one POC, simple POC. In between, Mulesoft will come into the picture guys here, any middleware tool, but here we are going to see Mulesoft, right? So that's why I'm going to take Mulesoft here. So this is the source system, local file system here. Source is local file system. So here guys, I'm going to read one file from a file local file system. I will show you the local file system path from where I'm going to read the file. This is a file guys. Here you guys can see. So this is the this file is having this customer information, ID, name, department. Just I wanted to insert this data into MySQL DB. I have to just read the file from local file system, and then once I will read file from local file system, then I need to just establish the communication from Mulesoft to MySQL DB. Then I have to just insert the data into table, MySQL table. This is a simple POC to make you understand. Okay. So this is CSV guys, CSV format. Okay, this is source. Next target is MySQL DB, customer table. Customer table. In between in between source and destination, Mulesoft will come into the picture. Any middleware tool, guys. Okay, so here I'm going to read the file from the local file system. Getting local file system. See here we are not going to just implement any business logic here, since this is the only demo class, right? So here whatever the depth by default it look like this. Okay, so we'll explain about the installation part in detail. Here we are started with the time, so I'm going directly. Once you will launch the Anypoint Studio IDE, it look like this guys. So how we can create the, it's a similar to all the middleware tools guys. So if anyone have knowledge on any middleware tools, it's very much similar to other tools also. Here just go to file. There are a couple of ways. This is the one way. Go go to new file, new and Mule project. Here a project name, we should give project name demo POC. Here we have to choose the runtime servers guys. This is a built-in runtime server here. Okay, I'm going with this Mule server. Next we need to just before that guys, here left side under package you guys can see nothing is there. Once we'll create the new project, then you guys can see. So here scheduling strategy, I'm not going to explain you scheduling strategy. There are two kind of scheduling strategies. We'll see later. So every 10, I'm just giving the setting the time period, like every 10 seconds it should initiate the processing. Next I'm going to take logger component. Once I will read the 1 minute guys. Once I read the file from local file system, uh, then I will immediately I wanted to just log whatever the data I'm going to get in. Before this, I wanted to show you one thing here. Just I'm going to remove this logger component 1 minute. Here you guys can see process here, the place where I just removed the logger component, and in the below part you guys can see the error handling, and the place where I kept the scheduler component. If I'll remove the scheduler component, you guys can see clearly there are three sections here in flow: source section, process section, error handling section. Okay, in the source section we should keep listener for external sources and scheduler for the internal resources guys. We have to use like this. About these things we will explain clearly. Again I'm going to use the scheduler component here. Just now I have removed, right, to show you. And one more thing, yeah, 1 minute. Here you guys can see when we'll drag and drop any component, the flow started guys here. So it's automatically going to generate the code. No need to worry about that. We have just discussed one feature. We can say we can build the integrations either in graphical or in XML. So this is graphical is nothing but this is by just adding the components which is available in the Mule palette. In XML is nothing but if you are expert in here writing the XML code, you can generate it. Next, I am going to introduce the file module here. How to add the modules that this is the way how we can add the modules here. You see there are 8 to 9 operations are there here related to file module. I'm going to use the file read operation to read the file from local file system. So these are the mandatory configuration information we should have we should provide guys here. So we have to just create the connector configuration. How to create, this is the way how we can create the connector here. Already path is there guys. I'm going to give that path, same path only. We just now we have copied, right? Just click on OK. It's going to create the connector, and here we should give the file path guys, from where we are going to. File path is nothing but the file name of the file which we are going to read, customer underscore detail.csv. Here what I'm trying to do, if you want you can change the naming convention for this component. I'm going to read from local. Okay, if anyone will look into this flow, right, by looking in the flow they should understand what we are going to do at this particular component. Next I'm going to use the logger component here to log the file data. About these things I will explain later guys. Don't you? Logging file data. Next I'm going to introduce database module here. We have to add the module here, then only we can able to see here. Insert operation, I'm going to use a database insert operation here. For this database also we should create the connector configurations. You guys can say attribute config reference is required. It will show in red mark. Once you will create it will be gone, guys. Here I have to choose the MySQL connection. About these things I will explain in regular sessions. We have to add the required library here. Host is my database host, guys. This is my database here. This is my MySQL database. Related details I need to provide here. We should provide here. Host is localhost. Port is 3306. User is root user here. In real time, client will provide all these details. My database name is company. I will show you that. Here we should not write whether connection is established or not. Regarding for that, we will use this test connection option to try to make the connection, try to establish the connection from here to MySQL with these details. It will give us the status, guys. Here I want to show you one thing, like I'm going to create one table here with the name customer. So already data is there, guys. Here we don't have time, otherwise I would have show you. Create table. This is the table name. These are the columns: ID, name, department. ID. This is int is the type of this ID. Not null, name, varchar. Type of data type, guys. Here department is same. So then here, if you want to just create table here, so you have to just highlight this whole query. You need to execute. Here status, you guys can see 0 rows affected. If you go on, if you try to select use the select operation to see whether records are there or not. Select store from. So we don't have any, just to have it's created the skeleton to insert more than one, so I should use bulk insert. It's already is there, just we need to just, this is the query for that. And if you want to test it again, you can test it one more time. If you want to insert more than one record, right, so that time we'll go, we have one option, guys, bulk insert, so we'll go with that. Okay, so this is a query I give. Next I wanted to use going to insert more than one customer record at a time. Okay, next I'm going to use logger component. Once it will insert it, then we'll get the response back here. Response from DB. Okay, so this is a simple POC I wanted to do it, guys. So now, so this is our POC. It's ready, guys. We need to just execute that. So automatically you guys can see the XML code automatically it's going to generate it. No need to worry about that. So now I'm going to run this project. How we can run? So we can just, I'm going to component and I'm going to run the project in debugging mode. So there are a couple of ways how we can run it. I will explain you later. Save the project. This This is the console. Here we can see all the status. Here you guys can see it's deployed. The status is deployed. Just click on yes. So then the debugging window will enable us. Going to read. Okay, just click on next, guys. Here you guys can see payload null is there. You just click on here. Okay, you guys can see data. It's just read the information from file. So CSV file. Now I'm going to insert into the table. Just execute the query. You guys can see it's inserted, guys. So this is a simple POC we done. If anyone have any questions, you can ask me. And before that, guys, so if anyone have any questions, just in the chat window, just type your along with your name. Just send me your mobile number. We can connect later after this class. More than 20 people are there, right? So it's very difficult to uh, interact now.
Hello, Subbu.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have a quick question.
yeah. Tell me.
So you are directly, I mean, you are getting directly data from the source end, right? But
Yes.
you didn't validate the data like what we have done in other integration technologies. Before that, we have to validate the data, right? So what if we have missed any terminators or commas in that particular data? How we can check?
It's going to throw the error here only. See here, this is just my own data. So here there is no error. Here no need to validate it. Okay.
No. How you are going to validate? If you would like to validate that particular data, is there any separate component?
Validate is there. If you want to, you can use it to validate the data. Otherwise, here when we get the data right, so once the data will trying to once that event, okay, in Mulesoft we can talk in event, okay. So what will happen when trying to travel from this component to this component? If in case of any based on the business logic, in case of any error, as you said, right? If suppose is there any comma or something, any value is missed for a particular field, so that time it clearly it's give us the error information here, so that we'll just try to resolve that. You got it what I'm trying to say?
No. If you just miss the particular data, just remove the comma on the particular data source file. You just remove that. Can you do that on your source file? Yeah, you just remove that comma in particular line. Will it accept that data? Yeah, just save it and pass that input.
Here guys, it won't here in the db itself. We are going to get the error. Because in table also just I set the primary key, you see. 1 minute, guys. Is it just normal POC? Okay, we can able to see all the things here.
No, I just want to know that is there any such option available in this, to validate?
Here we have validator are there. Okay, if you want, you can use it. That's what I'm saying. If you want, you can validate it.
Oh, okay.
If you
Like
want,
we
you can
have several
validate.
type of data like XML, CSV, fixed length, EDA. There are a number of data. I mean, data formats are available, right? So that's what I want to check with you. Like, is there
Here you
any
can see
kind of
identity message validator is there. You can use it.
okay? It will support
We
all
have
kind of data
yeah.
formats.
Yes, it will support. Okay, guys. Anyone have any questions? Okay, this is simple POC we did, and can you all guys ping me your numbers, name and number in the chat window? Yeah, one Akil asked where does the mule started, guys. Here scheduler we use right here itself is we are going to start the flow. Don't have a class, so from Monday onwards we'll start. Batch timings will be 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. IST timings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Subit.
Yeah.
The tool, I know we had to download from the online. It will give you the 30-day free trial. So is that the only way, or like do we have any kind of license?
No, we don't have.
Okay.
This is my number, guys. If you want to message me, you can message me. You can message in WhatsApp also. These are my contact details. Theoretically, we are going to cover documentation PPT, and for practically, I am going to show you in live only. So, what other trainers will do? I have just personally experienced, guys. In initial 2 to 3 class, they will just do the POs in real time. I mean, in live. After that, once the basics will be over, then they will show the existing POCs. Even uh, they are not ready to show you how to resolve the issues. But for entire training, we are going to see every day. We are going to see the POCs in live. Okay, guys. Thanks for joining. Thank you all.
Thank you, Subbu.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Subbu.
Thank you all.